Alright, hello Apple Group. I hope you enjoyed your trip home and you are ready to start your first I'm messing up already, flipped classroom video today. You should go ahead and get your WSQ out in front of you so that you can pause the video and record your answers as we go. If you need to go back and rewatch, that's fine. However it works best for you, works for me. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your vocabulary for this lesson. Your biggest, most important vocab word is the word array. That word array should go in the circle and the first Freyer model on your WSQ. Array, A-R-R-A-Y. An array is an arrangement of objects in rows and columns. Go ahead and whenever you want to pause this, fill out the definition, illustration, examples, and non-examples of an array. You could draw pictures for your examples and non-examples, that would work. Or if you can think of any in real life already off the top of your head, you could put those in there too. And then for your second vocab word, I want you to choose either rows or columns. It's really important that you remember that rows go across and columns go up and down. A little trick that I use is I always draw an arrow under the word rows from left to right, and then my L in columns, I turn it into an arrow because rows go across and columns go up and down. Okay, so we're going to do a couple things, looking at different arrays and talking about writing equations to match your array. So I have here, let me take this away, 6 cubes, and I have them in an array that is a 2 by 3 array. I know that because I have 2 rows with 3 objects in each. When you write a number sentence or equation to represent an array, you always say the rows first and then the columns. So my number sentence for this array could be 2 times 3 equals 6. Or I could do 2 times 3 equals n, and n equals 6. You have a practice problem on your WSQ that has a bunch of circles and it says write and solve an equation to match the array. Go ahead and write and solve the equation to match the array that's on your practice problem. Okay, next I'm going to mix up my array a little bit. I'm going to add some more cubes. And I'm going to pretend that these cubes are students. And I'm planning an assembly and I need to line up all of these students. I'm going to figure out what combination I could make of rows and columns that would make my kids fit most efficiently in the space that I have. So I'm going to start by moving one kid here, one kid here, one kid here, one there, and I'm going to say that that is my first row. So my first row has 4 cubes in it. My second row is also going to have 4 cubes in it, because if I'm making an array, every row has the same number of cubes, or objects, whatever your objects are. Okay. My third row. And now I have some leftovers. I have some extras. I have 2 cubes that don't have a space to go in the array. So currently I have see if you can figure it out on your own before I say it, pause me real quickly. I have a 3 by 4 array. I know that I have 3 rows, 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows of 4 cubes each. Then I also had these 2 leftover kids. Whoops, and I dropped them and messed up my whole array. Sometimes things like this happen in flipped videos and we just kind of have to make the best of it. So I have these 2 extra kids who didn't fit in my rows or columns. There's the other one. So I need to find somewhere else for those 2 to stand. You have a similar problem on your practice sheet that says Mrs. Fox is organizing students into rows for the winter concert. There's enough room on the stage for 3 rows of 12 students. How many students can fit on the stage? In order to solve that, I want you to try drawing an array. Try doing it on your paper. If you need to use something to manipulate things that you might have around the house, a really good option is paper clips. Other things that might work are Legos or Connects or any kind of small piece. Then there is a second part to that problem. Go ahead and try to figure out how many will not fit on her stage. How many is she going to have to find somewhere else to put them? Okay? moving away from multiplication a little bit, we're going to back up to repeated addition, just to clarify something. You can also make, some people call multiplication and repeated addition sisters because they're similar, they come from the same family, they're both from the family of math, and you end up with the same answer, but they get there differently. So if I were to write a multiplication sentence or equation about this array, I would say 2 times 3 equals n, 2 times 3 equals 6. That's one way to do it. That matches what we just did. If I wanted to do multiplication, I could say 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. This is, some of you had a hard time with this, and I think you made it harder than you needed to. Go ahead and write a repeated addition number sentence for the array that's on your page. It's the practice problem on the left-hand side at the bottom of the page. Okay? And then look over at those monkeys. See if you can figure out an equation. That would be when you use a variable like n, or any letter that you want. You could use m because they're monkeys. Equation that is repeated addition to match those monkeys. Okay? And that's pretty much it. You should, at this point, be able to complete the summary and the question section. The summary, I gave you